Um, I was born in Ethiopia and I came to United States when I was 9 years old. So most of my formative years were spent back home. I was raised with my mom and my two older sisters who are both a couple of years older than me. And when I was 1.5, my father had to leave the country because he was involved in political situations that forced him to have to flee the country.
I was thinking about bringing your sisters here, obviously with the help of your mother signing for them to come to the U.S. That was the most important thing that happened to them.
Part of the reason why your father and I got married was really to bring the girls over here. I mean, certainly we wanted to have a family together. I'm not sure how, I think it was pretty clear that it wasn't really gonna, be forever.
Getting them here, all three of them at the same time, was very difficult. It was shocking. Again, it was a big challenge for me and for everybody who was around me.
One of the main reasons my father brought me and my sisters and kind of ripped us out of everything that was familiar to us is he wanted a better life for us, and he knew that being in America was going to provide us the education that we needed so that we can be self-sufficient in the future.
For them, when they come in, I wasn't 100% helpful in terms of making them assimilate to the culture. The reason why is this: I still have my own residue of culture from Ethiopia.
Ethiopian culture is not African American culture. That's, it's just people, just because of, what color your skin is doesn't mean that, just because you come here, doesn't mean that you're part of that culture.
He knew, unfortunately, as much as we loved our country and the holidays and the people, and my mother was back there, it was extremely tough for me to leave. He knew that the short-term suffering of missing all those people would be more a payment towards our future.
The girls were really skinny, and it was obvious to me that they probably weren't getting enough to eat. This is also the same time, it was a little bit after, I think when they came over, it was We Are the World, and the famine in Ethiopia was on TV every day, and I saw it firsthand in the kids coming over here.
I was 9 years old, and one of the things that I remember is we came in November, and I remember it being very cold.
Okay.
And for me, back home growing up, the cold season is, it was 65 today. Did you have your turtleneck on? So it was an extreme shock. I wasn't aware of as much as about the money and finances, given that I was still very young, and I wasn't aware of that yet. But I remember coming here and being picked up at Logan Airport, and one of the coolest things to this day that impressed me about America was the tunnel. I think, the Ted Williams tunnel coming from the airport, and I remember my father telling me, I think that some of it was underwater, and I was like, wow, America is a dreamland. So I think in the first 24 to 48 hours, I was still, kind of in the awe of the situation. Going to school was very daunting because we didn't know any English. We spoke Amharic, first of all, Ethiopian language that wasn't Spanish or French, where
not only does nobody speaks Amharic.
Right. So that made it tough even for the educators in the school system, and they kind of wanted us to learn everything fast. And one of the things that really was upsetting to me is after having been in the country, I believe maybe 8 to 9 months, they insisted my sisters and I get tested for being slow or dyslexic.
When you are thinking in Ethiopian, which is probably Amharic, into English, very interesting the first 6 months or a year. I would say you start thinking in Ethiopian and translate it in your head in English and try to tell the person to communicate. Oh, that's difficult.
A huge emphasis was placed on education in my household, as probably with most immigrants, is because they saw it as a ticket, as a way to achieve the American dream. And if you had education, you had something to give society, then you can get the jobs you want and the lifestyle that they dreamed for you.
Immigrant parents who have the education, they were able to help their kids, make them study, do the homework, answer their questions.
I'm married to an American man, and I have two beautiful boys that are American, so in that way, I guess I am living the American dream that I didn't set out to live, but the vision that my mom had when I was 9 and my father had when I was 9.
At least, and being able to have, see them now and living their lives, and, it's been real, like I tell them, I think it's probably the best thing I ever did was bring them over here.
I don't think my story is any different than anybody, any immigrant.
They don't migrate because they love apple pie, baseball, just to put it as a joke, but they come here because the educational and the job opportunities are not offered in their countries. It's not a matter of working hard or not wanting to work hard. They know that if they go to the US, anybody could make it.